Hello guys, welcome to NACO Brains from NACO Architecture Consult. In this video, I'm going to lead you through introduction to AutoCAD, and we are going to focus our attention on the tools and menus we can use on the AutoCAD software. Now, it is important to know all the tools and menus in the AutoCAD so as to use them to your advantage. So, our tutorial series covers areas like the introduction to AutoCAD user interface, and we will focus our understanding on the features and menus within the interface. We will create layers for our working drawings. We will develop floor plans using single lines. We will try as much as possible to arrange furniture and create blocks within the working drawings. We will also dimension our working drawings. We will create foundation plans, roof plans, generate elevations within the AutoCAD. We will set up our drawing sheets. Then we will plot our drawings in PDF format. Now let's move ahead to the interface of the AutoCAD software. So this is actually the user interface of the AutoCAD Architecture 2023. Now, when you move to this area, this black screen representing the working area or your workspace, it's actually called the Windows electronic background. It has an unlimited zooming point. Now, the cross you see here is actually called the crosshair we normally use in the AutoCAD. Then the box within the crosshair is called pick box. So this combination of the crosshair and pick box is what we use within the AutoCAD. Now, when you move ahead to the top here, you could see we have quite a number of different icons, panels, menus representing the user interface. So without much ado, let's move ahead to AutoCAD and see what the user interface is about. Now, after launching your AutoCAD Architecture software, this is going to appear on your screen. Now you have your previous saved drawings or work or project over here, and you move to this left side. You could see we have open, we have new. So before you can access any of the ribbon and menus over here, it's either you add a drawing by making use of the plus sign over here, which is asking you to start a new project or launching a new working sheet, or you can hover your mouse to this open. When you have already existing work, you can open it from here, and you can as well start a new working sheet or your new work drawing project over here. So let's move to this area, then start a new working drawing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, after you launching your software by adding a drawing or a drawing sheet where you are going to start working within the area. Automatically, the AutoCAD software has given you a name for the new drawing you are going to work on as drawing number 1. So it's up to you to save this drawing to your preferred name for that particular work. So when you move to this area, actually where we are going to start, we have the AutoCAD icon over here, actually representing the application button or the application menu. That is where you could find the new, when you want to add a new drawing or a new project from project browser, or you want to create project from a project browser, you can come to this area, then you select either this or this. This is actually when you want to start a new drawing, which is actually this part. You can access this area as well by clicking the plus sign to add new drawing. So when you move to this area, you can also access this part as well. When you move to the open side, you have the access to open already saved drawing, an existing drawing file, or any projects at all. You can as well save your drawing from this part. You can also save as different formats which is compatible to AutoCAD. You can as well import file formats from PDF, DGN, or other formats which is compatible to AutoCAD. Mind you, we have quite a number of files which are not compatible to AutoCAD. You can import picture, PDF, you can import 3D model within the AutoCAD software. Now, when you come to this area, we have the export menu, or the export drop down button over here, drop down arrow, where you can also access quite a number of files you can export your files to. We have the DWF, DWFX, then 3D DWF, then we have the PDF, quite a number of files you can export your work to. Now you can come to the publish area. You can publish your work through e-transmit or email, or you can share some files through the internet or the website as well. Now you can plot or print your work by single plotting to AutoCAD, which we are going to focus on in our subsequent videos. You can manage your page, you can manage your plotter, you can manage your plot style. We have quite a number of things. Now when you move down here, you could see we have options over here. The option button over here actually contains quite a lot of settings you can use to adjust what you are coming to do within this part. So when you move to this part, after loading, you will have the access to change so many things, especially the theme for the interface, which is dark over here. You can change it to light color. When you select the apply, you will see that the interface color is going to change from dark to white or light color. Now I prefer to use the dark interface. Now when you hover your mouse to the down side over here, you could see we have colors over here. These colors actually displays how your working sheet is going to be. So when you want to change the background from black or dark to any color at all, you can come to this space. Hovering your mouse to this part, you could see we have uniform background over here. It's actually this working area. Here we have the 2D model space, and this is actually the 2D modeling space. It's actually the uniform background. You can change it to white if you wish to do so. You could see that the preview has given you an overview of how your screen or your work sheet is going to be like. Now you can change your crosshair. This is the crosshair. So when you move to this area as well, right beneath the uniform background, you could see that we have the crosshair as black. Now, since the lines are also black over here, you can differentiate between the crosshair from the grids we have over here. So when you move to this area, by changing the color from black to something like red, you could see that we have your crosshair showing as red over here. So this is actually how you manage your settings for your work. Now we have the object 2D auto snap marker over here, which is this side. When you change this color, whenever you want to select a point or midpoint from your object or line, this is what is going to appear on your screen. Now, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos and share. Now, when you come to this, let's move away from this part to this drafting area. This is actually the auto snap marker size. This is the size which is going to appear when you want to select midpoint, endpoint, or start point of any object. So when you minimize it like this, or when you move it to a smaller size, it will be very hard for you to see what you are going to do. So assuming we have activated that particular side, when you select a line, and you want to add another line, either vertical or horizontal, you could see that it doesn't matter how you zoom your line, the object or the auto marker size is going to be small as that. So when you move to the option again by clicking, right clicking the command line over here, you can as well access the option menu here as well. When you move to the drafting again to change the marker size, auto snap marker size is going to be a bigger one, which you can easily access when you are drafting your project. So when you select a line now, you could see that the marker size has been increased, which will enable you to snap any endpoint, midpoint, or another endpoint of your line. And it's going to be much helpful to you. Now, when you move to this area, you could see we have quite a number of icons here. It's actually called the ribbon. The ribbon. Now, sometimes you might mistakenly deactivate or close this area. When it happens so, you don't need to worry yourself. You can still come here to type in the name here, which is the ribbon. When you type the ribbon over here, you can either close or open your ribbon. So let's close the ribbon. You see that when we close the ribbon, you can't even access any of the tools within the ribbon area. But when you come back to the command line to search for the ribbon, when you type in the ribbon and enter, you could see that the ribbon has reappeared on your screen, which is going to help you to access any tools and panels and tabs within the interface. So this is actually going to be of help to you. Now, the ribbon contains quite a number of panels, menus, tabs, and so many things. So when you move to this area, this is the design tool palette over here, which contains quite a number of architectural units like wall unit, window unit, door unit, roofing unit, or stairs, spaces, grates, box. Then when you move to this area, you have the draw tab or the draw panel over here, which contains quite a number of geometrical figures like lines. We have the polyline, we have the construction line, we have the spline, ray, we have the 3D polyline. Now, this is actually the arches when you can add your arch, which is this is the 3-point arch. This is actually arch start from center to end. Then we have quite a number of arcs you can use for your drawing project, especially when you want to draw an opening for your entrance, for your porch, for your dining area. You can use the arch here to design your elevations. Now, when you move to this area, we have the circles over here with different types. This is the 2-point circle. We have the diameter, we have the radius, we have the 3-point, we have the tangent and radius. Now, when you move to this area, though, we have here as rectangle symbol over here. But when you click, you can have the access to use the polygon, then things, especially the helix. We have the donut, we have the region over here. Now, this is actually the hatch. You can access the hatch from the draw menu over here. We have the hatch, we have the gradient over here. Now, in our subsequent videos, we will make use of all these tools. Now, this is the match property we use. This is actually the modifying tools over here. You can delete, you can move, you can rotate, you can exclude, you can offset, you can change the order of your objects. When you want an object to fall behind another object or come in front of another object, you can use the order over here. You can trim, you can fillet and chamfer over here. Now, when you move to the view, it's actually going to help you to navigate your work, whether you are working on a plan mode or left side or right side. You can use that as well. When you move to this area, you could see that we have the navigation tool over here, actually displaying your 4 corners or your 4 sides of your elevation. It's the 4 corners of the earth. We have the north, south, east, and west. Actually, this is the front of your front elevation. This is the back elevation. This is the right, then this is the left elevation. Now you can use this side to view your isometric drawing over here. When you have 3D model over here, you can use this very effectively. Now, when you move to this area, you have the layers here, which is the layer properties. When we move to our subsequent videos, I have a full tutorial video for creating and managing layers in AutoCAD. Now, when you move to this part, we have the annotation. The annotation gives you unlimited access to create text, type in keynotes, create doors and window schedule, and bending schedule, whatever at all can be found in this area. You can tag your window and doors over here. You can as well use dimension. So the home menu actually gives you a full overview of what the interface entails. Now, when you move to this area, this bar above the ribbon is called the quick access menu. So the quick access menu actually contains the easy accessibility of the application button or the application menu over here. So when you hover your mouse to this part, you can have the access to create new blank drawing file over here. You can open an existing file. You can as well save. You can plot your work over here. Now we have the undo button or the undo icon over here. Actually, the left arrow symbol here. Now, when you move to this part, you can have the access to attach different files, be it PDF, coordinates, land coordinates, content browser, set location like coordinates. You can have the access to insert compatible files within your work. Now, when you move to this part, this is expanding the annotation we see at this area. So this is actually the annotation. It's quite a simple one, but when you move to this part, uh, has been expanded a bit. So when you move to this area, you can have the access to type in a text. Then the text styles are over here. The annotation text height is over here. When you want to increase the size of your font, you can uh, find them here. This is the architectural dimensions over here, which is giving you the access to either dimension your work internally or externally. Now, when you move here, we have the linear dimension over here. We have the continuous, we have aligned dimension, we have angular dimension, we have a radius, and then we have the center mark over here. Now, when you start any project, we are going to make use of this area as well. Now, you can tag your windows, especially when you want to name your windows and doors and other openings, room tags. Everything is found in this area. You can access the doors and windows schedule when you are able to do it well. You can generate doors and windows schedule from this part. This is the scheduling. Now, when you move to this area, in the subsequent videos when we are generating elevations, we are going to make use of this part very frequently. Now, you can add a keynote, a note you want to create for a particular component or a particular region within your work. You can assign a keynote or those objects as well. Now, when you move to the render, you can have the access to create lighting for your 3D works. You can add shadow to your project. You can assign a sun status to it. You can as well manage your material for your work so as to be seen as realistic projects or objects. They are all found in this part. You can as well create animation when especially you are working on a 3D model. You can create animation from this part. You can set cameras, you can adjust cameras, you can adjust your uh, render size when you want to render a 3D mode. When you move to this area, you have the access to orbit your 3D project. Now, this part contains quite a number of icons. When you watch our subsequent videos, we are going to make use of all these things. We have the a calculator over here. We have the tool palette over here, which is on. When you turn it off, you could see that we don't have the tool palette here. But when you turn it on again, you could have the access to the design tool palette over here. Now, when you turn off the properties, you don't find the properties over here. But when you turn it on, you could see the properties. Now, this properties actually is the properties of the of any selected object over here. So when I select this line, the properties is actually going to display or give me the properties of this particular line. So that is the properties over here. It's found in the view tab. Now you can set sheets over here and manage your sheets. You can turn off the button over here. So when you move to this area, this is actually the file tab over here. You can actually turn it off by clicking this area. You could see that the file tab is off, but when you turn it on, you can now access the file tab over here. Then this is the layout tab. When you turn it off, the layout tab is going to be turned off. This is actually the tab, the model, the work, the plus sign. When you turn it off, it will go off. When you turn it on, it will be on. So we have the user interface here again. You could have the access to turn on the view cube, the navigation bar, the show motion, the text windows. So let's try and turn the navigation bar here. So this is actually the view cube and also the navigation bar or the navigation tools. When you want to pan, this is actually the navigation tab over here. When you want to pan your work, when you click it, your crosshair will go off. Then it will bring to you a hand symbol. Now you can move your work within this particular area. So that is by way of you selecting the navigation bar. You can orbit, especially when you are working on a 3D model. When you click the orbit, it's going to give you the chance to orbit your work like this. You can turn to every side of your work. Now this is how the navigation tools work. Now when you move back to this part, you can move back to the area. Now this is the back side. Now you can see that the navigation has been rotated here. You can see that we have the S being at the top, the north at the south area, we have the east here, then we have the west here. Now let's move to this part. When you turn it, you can rotate the navigation plane over here. So now we have our sheet set in the correct area. Now when you move down here, we have the command line over here, which actually displays every command you issue. It actually gives you the start second command you ought to issue within this area. Now this is actually called the status bar. The status bar, it contains quite a number of tools like the grid mode, the points or the snap mode, showing the snap to drawing grids. This is on. When you move to this part, we have the dynamic input over here. When you move to this part, we have the orthogonal mode as well as the polar tracking mode here. Now the polar tracking, when you click the drop down arrow over here, you could see that we have quite a number of degrees here. Now project or the status of this bar has been set to 30 degrees. When you move to this part, you can check on the 45 degrees here. So it means that any line you are going to create, assuming an angle, is going to give you 45 degrees. But you can make a free sketch or a free hand angles. Any of these are going to appear when you are working on angles. Now, this two doesn't work concurrently. When you turn this orthogonal mode on, the polar tracking automatically goes off because they can't work together. Now, this is actually the object tracking, object snap tracking. It gives you the chance to add a line within an angle, telling you how your angle is going to be. The orthogonal mode works in only two directions, either 90 degrees or 00 degrees, either vertical or horizontal. Now, when you move to this area, you can have the access to rotate your line to any angle of your choice. So, it can also give you the chance to draw 90 degrees line. The tracking is showing here as green line, that is the object snap tracking. So when your line is straight, the green line will appear. Then you have the access to type in your dimension over here. Then your degrees angle is also moving to this right side. So when you want to change the angle over here at your right side of the screen, which is the 45 degrees, you can press tab on your keyboard to have the access to type in your preferred angle over here. So that is by way of getting to know what this part is about. Now, this is the object snap. When you press the object snap, it will go off. Now, when you turn the object snap, you can't add any object with a point or snapping a midpoint or an endpoint of this particular object. So, assuming we have a line here, when you want to draw a line, because we have the object snap off, you can't locate either endpoint or midpoint of this object or these lines. So when you turn it on, you have the access to now snap to any point of your objects now. So you can click something like this, then you draw a line like this. So this is actually at the apex of the lines, the extreme endpoint of these particular lines. So this is it. Now, when you move to this area, you have the line width display over here. It is actually off. When you turn it on, when you increase the size or the thickness of this line by adjusting from the properties tab over here, you can change your line width. This is the line width. So you can see that we have this line width being thicker than these lines. But when you turn the line width off, you can't differentiate the thicker one from the thin one. So that is by way of understanding the line width and how it works. Now, this is actually the scale here. The annotation scale over here is currently set to 1:100. You can set it to 1:50. You can set it to 1:25, depending on the type of work you are doing. Now, when you move to this area, we have the medium details over here. You can change it to work layout. You can change it to structural. You can change it to standard, screened, a reflected screen, reflected presentation, plan only, medium detail, top level, medium detail, intermediate level. but our work is actually set to medium details. Now, when you start working with AutoCAD and you are expedient enough, you appreciate this part as well. Now, this is by way of understanding how the interface of the AutoCAD works. Now, when you move to this home again, you will have the access to use the quick measure. The quick measure. When you want to know the measurement from this part to this part, the angles, everything over here without using the annotation panel over here, you can as well move to this part by clicking the quick measure. Then you have the access to view all the dimensions within this area. So we have here at 69.50 degrees, we have here as 20.50 degrees. Then we have the dimensions around all of this particular geometry or this particular figure. So this 90 degrees, but from here to this part is 69.50 degrees, whilst this smaller part is 20.50 degrees. Then the top dimensions and down dimensions are all displayed on your screen. So that is by way of understanding how the interface of the AutoCAD works. Now, when you move to this design tool palette, it contains quite a number of tools we use within the architectural building project. So, when you come here, you can have the access to add corner windows. When you move to this part, we have the units over here. We have the wall unit. This is actually the design tool palette for quick accessibility. Now you can have the access to the slab, roof stairs, stairs tower generation. We have the railings, we have ceiling grid, we have space generator, we have the space separator, we have the zone, we have the materials. You can manage the materials for your work over here. We have the horizontal section, we have the vertical section. They are all found in this part. Now, when you hover your mouse to down here, you can have the access to change your wall types. We have different types of walls which can be used for your work. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.